Most people think wealth starts with a lot of money, a high-paying job, a successful business, a six-figure income. But what if that's not true? What if the biggest obstacle to building wealth isn't money, but the belief that you need more of it to start? Because the truth is, some of the most powerful financial transformations begin with surprisingly small amounts, like $100 a month. Just $100, the cost of a few dinners, a couple of subscriptions, a few impulse purchases, an amount so small that many people barely notice where it goes. And that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Because while most people spend $100 without thinking, a small group of people invest it, month after month, year after year, and over time, the difference becomes enormous. Let's imagine two people. Both earn the same income, both live in the same city, both have similar opportunities. The first person spends an extra $100 every month. The second person invests that same $100. At first, nothing looks different. After 1 month, the investor isn't rich. After 1 year, the results still seem small. And that's where most people lose interest, because we're conditioned to expect immediate results, immediate success, immediate rewards. But wealth doesn't work that way. Wealth is often invisible in the beginning. This is where compounding enters the story. Compounding is one of the most powerful forces in finance. It's simple. Your money earns returns, then those returns start earning returns. And over time, the growth begins to accelerate. Think of it like planting a tree. For years, it seems small, almost insignificant. But beneath the surface, the roots are growing. And eventually, the growth becomes impossible to ignore. That's exactly how investing works. The hardest part isn't investing. The hardest part is waiting. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they can achieve in 20 or 30 years. That's why consistency is so powerful. Imagine investing $100 every month for decades, not because you're trying to get rich quickly, but because you're building a habit, a system, a long-term strategy. The amount itself isn't what changes your future. The consistency does. Because every month you're doing something most people aren't. You're buying assets instead of liabilities. You're thinking about the future instead of only the present. And you're allowing time to work in your favor. Here's what makes this even more interesting. The people who become wealthy aren't always the highest earners. Many high-income earners spend everything they make. Bigger salary, bigger house, bigger car, bigger expenses. And despite earning more, they never build meaningful wealth. Meanwhile, someone earning less but investing consistently may end up with greater financial security, because wealth isn't about how much money passes through your hands. It's about how much money stays working for you. That's a completely different game. The problem is that $100 doesn't feel life-changing. People want dramatic results. They want a stock that doubles overnight, a business that explodes in growth, a shortcut. But wealth rarely comes from shortcuts. It usually comes from boring decisions repeated consistently. And boring doesn't get attention. Nobody posts viral videos about investing $100 every month. Nobody brags about patiently building wealth over 30 years. But that's exactly how many millionaires are created, not through excitement, through discipline. Now imagine increasing that amount over time. As your income grows, your investments grow too. What started as $100 becomes $200. Then $500, then even more. But the hardest part was never increasing the amount. The hardest part was starting. Because once investing becomes part of your identity, everything changes. You stop asking, how much can I spend? And start asking, how much can I invest? That single shift in thinking can completely change your financial future. Of course, investing isn't risk-free. Markets go up, markets go down. There will be periods of uncertainty, and there are no guarantees. But history has consistently shown that long-term investing rewards patience. The people who succeed are rarely the ones who predict the market perfectly. They're usually the ones who stay invested, who ignore the noise, who keep showing up every month, even when it's boring, especially when it's boring. So what happens if you invest $100 every month? You probably won't become rich next year. You won't impress anyone next month. And for a while, it may feel like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, something powerful is taking place. You're building a habit, you're building discipline, You're building ownership, and most importantly, you're building a future version of yourself with more options, more freedom, and more financial security. Because wealth isn't created by one big decision, it's created by small decisions repeated for years. And sometimes, the difference between staying broke and building wealth isn't thousands of dollars, it's simply the decision to start with the first 100.